Tia Clayton, Krystal Sloley, Sashalee Forbes, Jodean Williams, yes, you heard me right, and Natasha Morrison. These athletes, I believe, outside of the big two, Sharika and Shelly-Ann, sparkled last night in the women's 100-meter heat at Jamaica National Championships 2024. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. You drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. And ready? Yep. Good to go. Well, Sashalee Forbes did what we thought she would do. Tia Clayton lived up to the hype. Jodean Williams surprised many, myself included. Krystal Sloley looked solid, and Natasha Morrison perennially delivered. Well, it was a really interesting women's 100-meter heat, and of course it was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce who walked away with the fastest time, a time of 10.98. Sharika Jackson, the second fastest time, a time of 10.99, and the third fastest time has to be the talk of the women's 100-meter heats outside of the performance of the big two that some of you, oddly, were in doubt of. None other than the remarkable Jodean Williams. Yeah, you heard me right. She had the third fastest time going into today's semi-finals. She ran an incredible race. The sprint tech athletes sparkled in heat number 1, alongside, of course, the great Sharika Jacko Superwoman Jackson.
All take goal for heat number 1, Sharika Jackson. Going away, Brandon, Jodean Williams running right on the outside. Jackson and Williams. Jackson ahead of Williams.
Now I have to tell you, even I was surprised at Jodean Williams' performance. Now we've been seeing her improve bit by bit, but honestly I was not ready to see that 11:01 in the first round in the heat, which means that she is rounding into form. And we should expect a sub 11 second which will, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, will be her first sub 11 second in her entire sprint history. I believe this 11:01 is now her PB in the women's 100 meters. She ran an incredible race. She pressed out of lane, I think number 8, and looked really good doing so. She sparkled, people. And be honest, I don't know how many of you expected Jodean Williams to do this well, but I'm going to be frank, I crunched the numbers and I did not. But kudos, she ran a brilliant race. Then, of course, there's this young lady, Tia Clayton, who's one half of the twin turbo, the Clayton twins, delivered on her promise. Well, halfway there. At the recently held World Relays, in an interview, Tia Clayton said she was confident, I mean really confident, that she will make the team. And this run that she did in the heats certainly implies, I mean, she ran 11:02, again improving her PB. Remember, it was recently she had rounded down to 11:12, and now her PB, people, is 11:02. That is massive. So you're looking at another sub 11 athlete by the end of this series, meaning the Jamaica National Trials 2024, the women's 100-meter series. Jodean Williams had ran 11:01. Now, Tia Clayton rounds down her PB with a very impressive 11:02, running after the 5-time world champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. And clearly, this is important because I don't believe Tia Clayton was flat out. I believe she was managing her rounds. She did just enough to hit that second place. She ran hard, don't get me wrong, but I believe that based on how she ran, there's a whole lot more in the tank. So between Jodean and this young lady, Tia Clayton, we're looking at two young ladies who I think, looking at their progression, should hit their first sub-11s in this series. Very impressive. 11:02 was her score, running against the great Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in heat number 2.
Off they go, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce go brilliantly. Tia Clayton chasing, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Tia Clayton, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
So Tia Clayton there delivering on her promise and running a new PB of 11:02. Now then, there's Sashalee Forbes and this young lady, Krystal Sloley. Both athletes ran in heat number 3. Of course, Sashalee Forbes scored 11:03, which makes this the 5th fastest time going in today's semis. And Krystal Sloley ran. Both queens competed against each other in heat number 4, with Sashalee Forbes running 11.03 and Krystal Sloley scoring 11.12.
Off they go, fourth and final heat for the women's 100 meters. It's close racing all the way. Sashalee Forbes is in front, slowly steps forward. Tina Clayton is there.
Of note, veteran Natasha Morrison also ran 11.12 to make it through to the semi-finals. Now this of course is my 2 cents. Krystal Sloley, I believe, suffered from 2 things in her heats. She still ran a solid race, but one is inexperienced. I mean, the fact of the matter is she has not been in as many of these types. She's ran a lot of races, don't get me wrong, but I believe Sloley, Morrison, Sashalee Forbes and the others have had a little bit more experience with races at this caliber. Sloley ran a solid race and I expect her to improve in the semi-finals, hopefully once she gets those nerves under control. Now this young lady had no nerves issue. She has ran in so many top tier races and has delivered it repeatedly, so we know that Tia Clayton has the experience, and I'm going to say it again, I believe she was not flat out in that heat. I believe she's managing her rounds, so that 11.02 should look like a sub 11 today or in the finals. Tia Clayton, wow, I mean, Tia Clayton is delivering and delivering in 2024. She has improved her chances of making the team, or at least, the very least, making the women's 4x1. This is looking incredible because we have about 4 young ladies who are on the cusp of running sub 11 by the end of this series. We're not talking about Sashalee Forbes, she's already done it. Sloley has already done it. I'm talking about Tia. Well, the truth is everybody says actually done it, but Jodean and Tia Clayton. This is a very, very good look for Jamaica in general. Tia looked amazing. Now, Jodean Williams, Sprint Tech athlete. But I'm not kidding, since she's gone to Sprint Tech, we have seen a huge change. And people, that 11:01 is as big a change as it can get. That's a huge deal. You're talking about an athlete who can almost guarantee running a sub 11 during this series. I was very impressed with that run. No glitters. She had done well in the world relays. I've seen her in a few other races, but honestly, she was not on my radar. You know, I try to be very frank here. But that run, I stood up and took attention. I know that many of you are ahead of me in terms of that. I mean, you know, having people on your radar, but I was very impressed with this one. This is, I won't say a find because she's been around for a minute, but Sprint Tech, I don't know when I do over there, but keep doing it. Big up to Jodean. Awesome, awesome, awesome run. Very impressive. Can't wait to see what happens. I hope she doesn't collapse under her nerves. Now, Kings and Queens Royals, you know I've been talking about this young lady for quite some time. I still think of all the young ladies, she has the greatest chance of making the individual team. And she seems to be rounding back into form. She had a great year last year. She started out with a stellar 2024, got injured at the Miramar Invitational. And when we saw her run at was it the French Foray? I'm trying to remember where I saw her run. When she came back, I thought she did a solid job. She ran a season's best of 11:05. She has now rounded down that season's best, delivering 11:03, if my memory serves me correctly here. And I think she's only going to get better. She looked really, really good to me. Very, very solid race in heat number 4. But, you know, she has a battle on her hands. So to me, these young ladies all sparkled. Tia Clayton, big up to her. Sashalee Forbes, no surprise here. Tia Clayton, a little bit of a surprise, to be very frank with you. I'm going to be honest. Natasha Morrison is doing what I anticipated her to do. I think Krystal Sloley, once she settles her nerves, I think it was just nerves, because she came on in the end of her race and delivered a solid time. I think we'll see another sub 11 from her. This is one heck of a semi today, people. So to me, these ladies sparkled in last night's heats, leaving out the big 2. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with my assessment? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, the like button. Remember, your royals, kings, and queens. Bless up.